The interrogation room was cold. Not just because of the air conditioner, but because of the silence. Detective Ethan Cole sat across the table, watching the man in front of him. His name was Daniel Reeves. 32 years old. No criminal record. School teacher. Married. Quiet life. At least, that's what the file said. Daniel's hands were folded neatly on the metal table. Too neatly. Most suspects fidgeted. Some tapped their fingers. Some avoided eye contact. But Daniel? He was still. Unnaturally still. "Do you know why you're here?" Ethan asked calmly. Daniel smiled. Not a nervous smile. Not a confused one. A polite smile. "I assume it's about Lily," Daniel said. Ethan paused. Lily Monroe. 24 years old. Reported missing 3 days ago. Last seen walking home from work. No body. No weapon. No witnesses. Only one connection. Daniel Reeves. "You were the last person to see her," Ethan said. Daniel nodded slowly. "Yes. I helped her fix her car. It wouldn't start." His voice was soft. Almost comforting. Too comforting. Ethan leaned back. "Funny thing is, no one saw you there." Daniel's smile didn't fade. "People don't notice teachers much," he replied. That was the first strange thing. Most innocent people defend themselves. They get emotional. They get angry. Daniel stayed calm. Too calm, hourglass not done 3 days earlier. Lily Monroe never made it home. Her phone was found near a bus stop. Battery dead. No signs of struggle. Her family insisted she wouldn't disappear voluntarily. She was scared of the dark, her sister said. She always called someone while walking. But that night, no call. No message. Nothing. Detective back to the interrogation room. Ethan slid a photo across the table. It was Lily. Smiling. Alive. Daniel looked at it carefully. Then something changed. For just half a second. His eyes lit up. Not with sadness. With interest. Ethan noticed. "Did you know her before that night?" Ethan asked. Daniel shook his head. No. Another lie. The school security footage told a different story. Lily had attended a parent-teacher meeting at Daniel's school 2 weeks earlier. They had spoken. For 12 minutes. Daniel hadn't mentioned that. Ethan leaned forward. "Daniel, this is your chance to be honest." Daniel laughed. A short laugh. Then he said something that made the room go silent. "Detective, if I did something wrong, wouldn't I be nervous?" Ethan felt a chill. "That's not how guilt works," Ethan replied. Daniel tilted his head. "Isn't it?" Police car light the first crack. Ethan stood up and walked behind Daniel. "I've been doing this for 15 years, he said slowly. "And I've learned something." Daniel followed him with his eyes. "The dangerous ones aren't the loud ones." Daniel swallowed. "They're the quiet ones." For the first time. Daniel's fingers twitched. Just a little. Ethan smiled. There it was. Brain inside Daniel's mind. Daniel hated this room. Not because he was scared, but because it was boring. They always asked the same questions. They always thought the same way. He had planned better. Or so he thought. Ethan placed one last file on the table. Inside it was a single photograph. A photo Daniel had never shared with anyone. Daniel's smile vanished. "What is this?" Daniel whispered. Ethan looked him straight in the eyes. "This is where you made your first mistake." Cut to black. Daniel Reeves stared at the photograph. The room felt smaller now. The image showed a quiet street at night. A single streetlight glowing. And in the corner of the frame, Daniel, standing behind Lily Monroe. Too close. Too calm. Too familiar. This photo, Ethan said quietly, was taken 2 weeks before she disappeared. Daniel's lips parted slightly. "That's impossible," he said. "I've never been there." Ethan leaned forward. "The camera belongs to a private residence. The owner didn't even know it existed until we asked." Daniel looked back at the photo. Then he smiled again. But this time, the smile didn't reach his eyes. Brain a different kind of suspect. Most suspects panic when evidence appears. Daniel didn't. Instead, he asked a question. "Detective, do you believe people can be misunderstood?" Ethan didn't answer. "Because," Daniel continued, "sometimes people see things they want to see." His tone was calm. Controlled. But his hands were no longer still. His thumb rubbed against his index finger. Over and over. Ethan noticed. Hourglass not done 2 weeks earlier. Lily Monroe sat alone in the school hallway. The parent-teacher meeting had ended late. The building was almost empty. She checked her phone. No signal. "Long day?" a voice asked. She looked up. Daniel Reeves. He smiled politely. "Sorry," Lily said. "I didn't mean to stay so late." "It's fine," Daniel replied. "I like quiet places." That sentence would later haunt the investigation. They talked. About school. About work. About nothing important. Or so Lily thought. Daniel listened more than he spoke. He always did. Detective back to the interrogation room. "Why didn't you tell us about the school meeting?" Ethan asked. Daniel shrugged. It didn't seem relevant. Ethan raised an eyebrow. "You talked for 12 minutes. Daniel looked down. Then something strange happened. He laughed. Not nervous laughter. Amused laughter. 12 minutes, he said. "You timed it?" "Yes." Daniel nodded slowly. "Very thorough." Ethan felt it. That subtle shift. Daniel wasn't scared of the police. He was curious. Police car light the second crack. Ethan changed tactics. "Daniel," he said, "Lily's sister says Lily felt like someone was watching her." Daniel froze. Just for a moment. Then he leaned back. "People feel watched all the time," he said. "It's paranoia." "Is it?" Ethan asked. Or instinct? Silence. Daniel's jaw tightened. That was new. Puzzle piece, a hidden pattern. Outside the room, Detective Maya Alvarez reviewed files. 3 missing women. Different ages. Different jobs. Same neighborhoods. Same time frame. And one overlapping detail. Daniel Reeves had crossed paths with all of them. Not officially. Casually. Brief conversations. Small favors. Coincidences. Maya felt sick. These aren't random, she whispered. Brain inside Daniel's mind. They were getting closer. Daniel could feel it. But they still didn't understand him. They thought monsters were loud. Violent. Obvious. They were wrong. He believed he was careful. He believed he was invisible. Until Lily. Lily had noticed him. And that had changed everything. Fire the question that broke the calm. Ethan placed a recorder on the table. One last thing, he said. Daniel looked at it. Where were you the night Lily disappeared? Ethan asked. Daniel answered instantly. At home. With my wife. Ethan pressed a button. A woman's voice filled the room. Soft. Nervous. I don't remember Daniel coming home that night. Daniel's face went blank. The mask didn't slip. It shattered. Face without mouth, silence speaks. For 10 seconds. No one spoke. Daniel stared at the table. Then he whispered. She's mistaken. But his voice was different now. Lower. Colder. Ethan leaned in. Daniel, he said, this is where things get serious. Daniel looked up. And for the first time, there was no smile. Daniel leaned forward slowly and said, You think you know what happened to Lily? He paused. But you're looking in the wrong place. Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. Where should we look? He asked. Daniel smiled again. This time, it was terrifying. Inside the house. The house stood silent. From the outside, it looked normal. Clean lawn. White curtains. A place where nothing bad should ever happen. But Detective Ethan Cole knew better. Open it, he said. The door creaked as officers stepped inside. The air was heavy. Too still. Detective the first step inside. Daniel Reeves sat in the interrogation room while his home was being searched. He didn't resist. Didn't protest. Instead, he hummed softly. Ethan watched him through the glass. You seem calm, Ethan said through the intercom. Daniel smiled faintly. I like when things are organized, he replied. And this feels overdue. That sentence sent a chill down Ethan's spine. House inside Daniel's house. The living room was spotless. Too spotless. No family photos. No personal clutter. Everything placed with precision. Detective Maya Alvarez knelt near a bookshelf. Ethan, she called out. You need to see this. Behind the shelf. Scratches. Deep ones. Like someone had tried to move it many times. They pushed. The shelf slid aside, revealing a narrow door. No handle. Just a fingerprint scanner. Maya's stomach dropped. Locked with key, locked from the inside. "This isn't normal," an officer whispered. "They tried Daniel's fingerprints. Denied. They tried his wife's. Denied. Finally, they forced it open. The smell hit them first. Not decay. Something worse. Metal. Plastic. And chemicals. Brain inside the room. The room was small. Soundproofed. Walls covered in notes. Names. Dates. Times. Photos. Lily Monroe. Pinned neatly. In different clothes. Different days. Different locations. Someone had been watching her. 4 weeks. Maya's hands trembled. "This isn't obsession," she whispered. "It's preparation. Hourglass not done." Daniel's wife. Daniel's wife, Claire Reeves, sat wrapped in a blanket. "I didn't know," she kept repeating. "I swear. I didn't know." Maya looked at her gently. "Did you ever notice anything strange?" Claire hesitated. Then nodded. "He never let me go into the basement," she said quietly. "He said it was dangerous." Tears streamed down her face. "I thought he was just controlling." Puzzle piece back to the interrogation room. Ethan entered slowly. Daniel looked up. "You found it," Daniel said calmly. Ethan slammed a photo on the table. "Explain this." Daniel examined the image. Then nodded. "Yes," he said. "That's Lily." Ethan felt anger rise. "You stalked her." Daniel corrected him. "I observed her. Face without mouth, the confession that wasn't." "You planned this," Ethan said. "Every step." Daniel leaned back. "Planning doesn't mean intention," he replied. "That's not how the law works," Ethan snapped. Daniel smiled again. "Isn't it?" That smile. It wasn't fear. It was pride. Brain. Daniel finally speaks the truth. "She noticed me," Daniel said softly. "That was the problem." Ethan froze. "What do you mean?" "She looked at me," Daniel continued. "Really looked." His voice changed. Lower. Sharper. "People aren't supposed to see me." Police car light, the missing piece. "Where is Lily?" Ethan demanded. Daniel's eyes locked onto his. "She was alive when I last saw her." "That's a lie." Daniel shook his head slowly. "No," he said. "That's the truth you don't want." Silence filled the room. Drop of blood outside, a discovery. An officer ran toward Maya. "We found something else. Behind the house. Buried shallow. A phone. Cracked screen. Still on. Lily's phone." Maya's heart pounded. "She was here," she whispered. Smiling face with horns inside Daniel's mind. They were close now. Too close. Daniel felt it. But they still didn't understand. Finding the room wasn't the end. It was the beginning. Ethan leaned in and asked quietly. If Lily was alive, when you last saw her. Daniel smiled slowly and said. Then you should be asking. Who saw her after me? Ethan stepped back. Because suddenly, Daniel Reeves didn't feel like the only suspect anymore. The room felt heavier now. Daniel Reeves' last words echoed in Ethan's mind. Who saw her after me? Ethan stepped out of the interrogation room. That's a lie, Maya said immediately. He's playing games. Maybe, Ethan replied. But what if he isn't? That thought was dangerous. And it refused to leave. Detective a new direction. They went back to Lily's phone. Forensics had recovered partial data. One unread message. Time-stamped 11:47 p.m. After Daniel claimed to have last seen her. The message read. I'm scared. Someone's following me. Maya's heart sank. That's not Daniel, she said quietly. He was already home by then. Ethan stared at the screen. Then someone else picked up where he left off. Hourglass not done Lily's last hours. Lily walked faster. Her breath was uneven. She could feel it. Footsteps behind her. She turned. No one. Then her phone buzzed. No signal again. She didn't know that someone was watching her from across the street. Someone patient. Someone quiet. Brain back to Daniel. Ethan re-entered the room. Daniel looked relaxed. Did you enjoy the tour? Daniel asked. You weren't done, Ethan said. You were grooming her. Daniel tilted his head. That implies intention. You followed her. Watched her. Planned. Yes, Daniel said calmly. But I didn't kill her. The word kill hung in the air. Ethan noticed. I didn't say that, he said. Daniel smiled faintly. You didn't have to. Police car light the name appears. Maya walked in with a file. There's another man, she said. Marcus Hale. Daniel's eyes flickered. Just once. Barely visible. Ethan caught it. Who's Marcus? Ethan asked. Daniel leaned back. A man who doesn't like being noticed. Puzzle piece Marcus Hale. Marcus Hale. Security guard. Night shifts. Lives 2 blocks from Lily's route home. He had reported suspicious activity the night Lily disappeared. Convenient. Too convenient. And there was more. A blurry CCTV frame. Marcus, standing near the bus stop. At 11:50 p.m. 3 minutes after Lily's message, detective the interview with Marcus. Marcus sat rigid. Sweat formed on his forehead. I was just doing my job, he said. Keeping people safe. Did you follow Lily Monroe? Maya asked. No, he snapped. Then softer. I just noticed her. The same words. Not helped. Not met. Noticed. Maya exchanged a glance with Ethan. Brain pattern repeats. Daniel. Marcus. Different men. Same language. Same behavior. Watching. Waiting. This isn't coincidence, Maya whispered. It's contagion. Drop of blood pressure builds. Marcus' alibi collapsed. Witnesses placed him near Daniel's house that night. Not inside. Near. Ethan felt it. Daniel had been careful. Too careful. He didn't act alone, Ethan said. Brain Daniel breaks his silence. Back in the room, Ethan leaned in. You showed him, didn't you? Ethan said. How to watch without being seen. Daniel laughed softly. I didn't teach him anything, he said. He already knew. Then why Lily? Daniel's voice dropped. She was brave, he said. She sensed danger. And fear excites men like Marcus, Daniel continued calmly. They mistake it for power. Ethan's fists clenched. You used her. Daniel nodded. And he finished it. Police car light the discovery. A search team radioed in. They found clothing. Buried near an abandoned drainage tunnel. Lily's jacket. Blood-stained. Maya closed her eyes. She didn't survive, she whispered. Drop of blood, the almost confession. Marcus broke. I didn't mean to, he cried. She screamed. Where is she? Maya demanded. Marcus shook violently. I don't know, he sobbed. She ran. Ethan froze. She ran. Marcus nodded. She got away. Silence. Lily was still missing. Possibly alive, Ethan rushed back to Daniel. She ran, Ethan said. You didn't plan that, did you? Daniel's smile disappeared. For the first time. No, he whispered. And in that moment, Ethan realized something terrifying. Daniel Reeves had lost control, the rain had started. Not heavy. Just enough to blur the streets and hide footsteps. Detective Ethan Cole stood near the drainage tunnel, staring into the darkness. If she ran, he said quietly, she didn't get far. Searchlights cut through the night. Every second mattered. Hourglass not done. Lily's escape. Lily ran. Her lungs burned. Her legs screamed. She didn't know where she was going, only that she couldn't stop. The tunnel was narrow. Wet. Slippery. She fell. Hard. Pain shot through her ankle. She tried to scream. But no sound came out. Only breath. Back to Daniel. Daniel Reeves sat alone now. No questions. No pressure. Just silence. He hated silence. Because silence meant loss of control. Ethan entered the room slowly. You didn't expect her to fight, Ethan said. Daniel didn't respond. You didn't expect her to survive, Ethan continued. Daniel's jaw tightened. That was enough. Detective, the truth finally slips. You want to know what you are? Ethan said calmly. You're not a mastermind. Daniel laughed bitterly. You're just a man who needed to feel important. Daniel looked up sharply. That's not true. Ethan leaned in. You didn't kill her, he said. But you created the moment that nearly did. Daniel's voice dropped. She ruined it, he whispered. That was the confession. Not to murder. but to intention. Police car light the breakthrough. A shout echoed outside. We found her. Maya ran. Ethan followed. Lily lay near the edge of the tunnel. Alive. Barely. Cold. Bleeding. But breathing. Paramedics moved fast. Maya held her hand. You're safe now, she whispered. Lily's eyes fluttered open. She spoke only 2 words. He watched. Back at the station, Lily gave her statement. Not about Marcus. Not about the attack. About Daniel. He made me feel small, she said. Like I was already trapped. Maya nodded. That's how it starts. Justice. Marcus Hale was charged with attempted murder and kidnapping. Daniel Reeves was charged with stalking, psychological manipulation, criminal facilitation. He never confessed fully. He didn't need to. The evidence spoke. Daniel's last moment. As Daniel was led away, Ethan walked beside him. You lost, Ethan said. Daniel looked at him. No, Daniel replied softly. I was seen. That was the truth, months later. Ethan watched Lily walk freely down the same street. Sunlight replaced shadows. Some crimes leave scars. Some leave warnings. And some teach us something terrifying. The most dangerous suspects aren't the ones who scream. They're the ones who stay quiet. Sometimes the strangest behavior is the warning we ignore.